Southern California.
Almost haunting. The Pacific Palisades fire growing to nearly 16,000 acres. 40 miles away, the
I've never
Eden
seen
fire turned deadly and
them
has
not
exploded
put
to over
out
10,000
homes like
acres.
this.
Tonight, thousands in the region are under evacuation orders. Schools are closed, while power is out for 1.5 million Southern Californians.
Oh my gosh.
Gadi Schwartz is in the fire zone to start our coverage.
This area of Altadena has become an absolute wasteland. You've got rows and rows of homes that have burned. You've got some homes that are still standing, but it's just a matter of time.
But the trees are still standing.
This was the moment the sun rose over the fire raging above Pasadena, but you'd never know it because the dawn disappeared in the smoke.
Again, you hear those explosions. So many of these homes, there is no hope.
But against the odds in Mother Nature, some stayed doing everything they could to fight back.
There are people still here trying to fight this fire with garden hoses.
Oh my gosh. We saw that in Laguna Beach. But that was a real forest fire. This is not.
It almost seems futile. You were here fighting by yourself, right?
Yes.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out since 4 a.m.
Oh, poor thing.
You now have a full, contingent of firefighters here.
Yeah.
It seems like it's right in the nick of time.
They saved this home for now.
Oh.
A scene that played out across so many firelands, from the foothills of the Angeles Mountains to the Palisades.
And then trying to make entrance. They're smashing down that door. They gotta go inside. They gotta make sure no one is here.
Right, yeah.
Look at
Trying to
them.
wet down everything.
Oh, the poor things.
It's hard to show the scope of what's going on.
As we headed down Sunset Boulevard, the loss was worse than any fire.
My friend Dave Rudd is in Pacific Palisades on Sunset Boulevard.
And the chaos, way too
Oh
often,
my
firefighters
gosh.
left without water as hydrants went dry.
Ah, that I don't get.
Designed to fight wildfires. A firefight with multiple fire hydrants drawing water from the system for several hours is unsustainable.
Oh my gosh.
Officials say they weren't able to fill tanks fast enough, which would have helped with the water pressure. Something NBC's Morgan Chesky saw firsthand.
Out of every fire hydrant you've seen, what have you found? Right now, we're finding most of them are down or low pressure. If you have a hydrant for this building,
Where are the helicopters?
you might have been able to save the backup.
Helicopters should be dumping that fire stuff.
It is untouched.
Fire
You
retardant.
see how close those flames are. Firefighters are making their way up.
Where are the El Toro Air Force? We had them in Laguna Beach fires.
It looks like it's going to go up imminently because they are just overwhelmed. There isn't enough water up here.
The winds
Oh
also
my
grounding
gosh.
critical support from the sky for most of the day.
Oh.
When firefighters were able to make a stand and save a home, there
Oh.
was no victory. Just a brief reprieve from the helplessness of fighting fire against the wind.
My gosh.
Gadi, I feel like you really took us into what it is like there. This devastation goes well beyond the homes destroyed in Pacific Palisades.
Yeah,
The Getty Museum that I visited has the most gorgeous mosaic tile.
Churches here along the Palisades. This is the heart of the Palisades. You've got a restaurant down to the banks here in the Palisades have been reduced.
I wonder
to
how
ash,
Dave's
and
place is.
unfortunately, we've been in the neighborhoods above, below, and to each side of the heart of the
Look at the
Palisades.
restaurants.
So far, they're saying about 1,000. That's a preliminary number. 1,000 structures lost. We can tell you that number is going to climb significantly.
Today, it was hard to imagine destruction on this scale. Our Liz Kreutz saw some of the worst of it.
A massive and deadly wildfire emergency is unfolding in Southern California. From the Pacific Palisades to Pasadena, multiple infernos continuing mass destruction of homes and businesses. Tens of
Where are all these
thousands
people
forced
gonna
to
go?
evacuate.
Last night was one of the most devastating and terrifying nights that we've seen in any part of our city, at any part of our history.
On the coast, the Palisades fire exploding to more than 15,000 acres. 75-mile-per-hour winds overnight, pushing the flames up the Pacific Coast Highway, where it overtook the iconic city of Malibu.
Oh my
Created
gosh.
This apocalyptic scene stretching for miles on the California coast.
We're watching multiple beachfront properties here just go up in flames. First responders trying to get a hold of the fires. All the
That's
neighboring
insane.
properties here destroyed as the winds are picking up.
In the Pacific Palisades, officials say at least 1,000 structures lost. Across Southern California, high winds and protected power shutoffs have left more than 1 million people in the dark. At the Eaton fire burning in Altadena, 45 minutes from the coast, at least 5 people have died and more than 100 structures destroyed. As wind
What about the animal shelters? There's a bunch of animal shelters there.
You'll see the people on stretchers and just the effort, very rapid effort to try to get these people
Poor
out of
old
harm's
people.
way.
For many, the race to get out was by any means necessary.
Which is your house?
Yeah, this is our house. Backyard's on fire. I'm out of here.
Oh.
Expensive real estate in the world reduced to rubble on Pacific Coast Highway.
Here at PCH, home after home after home of beachfront properties are
How do you
destroyed.
prepare for this,
Usually
guys?
see
You better have
the
your
Pacific Ocean
bug
there.
out bag
Now
ready to
it's
go with all your
ashes and
important
smoke.
stuff.
As fires still burn,
And have a
officials
plan
urging
with your
residents not
kids
to
where you
ignore
meet.
evacuation orders.
A high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate, in addition to first responders who were on the fire line.
Oh my
Today,
gosh.
President Biden meeting with local officials, including Governor Gavin
Newsom.
Newsom, who toured the destruction.
And acts like he doesn't know how this happened.
Closest approximation was Paradise, California. It's one of the most deadly fires in U.S. history. But at this stage, a little over 24 hours, nothing comes close.
Tonight, thousands displaced with the flames still threatening homes.
The garage.
In Malibu, Steve Wiggins says he tried everything to save his.
So I kept spraying all the embers, and then the next thing I know, a 30-foot
fire
was coming at 60 miles an hour.
He's on the
and I couldn't
mountain.
see. It was so smoky, and I said, well, it's time to leave.
He
Oh,
came back today to find nothing.
We
nothing.
lost everything we owned, but
Oh, how sad.
it doesn't even look like a house anymore. It just looks like
Oh.
something.
A lot of heartbreak, Liz. The fire threat's still very active tonight.
It really is, Lester. In fact, here in Malibu, you can see these crews continuing to work here as they try to put out the flames that are beginning to consume this home here on the coast. Millions across LA are on alert right now, with some evacuation orders even issued in Santa Monica, with red flag warnings continuing through at least Friday. Lester.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Liz Kreutz, thanks. We want to give you a lay of the land now as to where all this is happening and look at why resources may be so stretched. Los Angeles County is the most populous county in the nation, with major urban centers, sparkling beach communities, and rugged mountains. Pacific Palisades, where the first fire broke out yesterday, sits on the coast. Malibu
Right on the
to
coast.
its north, iconic Santa Monica to its south. Moving inland 25 miles to the north and east of the Palisades is the Sylmar area. That's where the Hearst fire is burning. And then another 25 miles southeast
Oh, you
from
see our
there is
houses.
Altadena, near Pasadena, where the deadly
Houses
Eaton
burning
fire
down.
is raging tonight, and where we find our Steve Patterson. Steve, good evening.
Look at right behind him.
Lester, the air quality here has been miserable for now more than 24 hours. You can feel it, and when the smoke bill is like this, it travels for miles. Area hospitals now filling up to the smoke inhalation, with experts saying the best thing you can do is to stay inside, and even then, you have an air purifier, use one. You have to be out in this. Wet rags and surgical masks will not work. You need an N95 with a purifier. Today, the air quality index, or AQI, reached more than 300. That's hazardous to everyone, not just the most at-risk groups. Lester?
All right, thanks, Steve Patterson. Our colleagues at our NBC station in Los Angeles, KNBC, have been working nonstop for more than 24 hours covering this disaster. Their deep connection to those communities reflected in so much of their coverage, including this moment when reporter Michelle Valles was on the air as neighbors battled flames consuming the home next door.
This home next to it was on fire. They were making gains here. They were making gains, and then all of a sudden the winds picked up. And
Poor
you
things.
see how it's fueling.
Oh, the poor
the fire
things.
next door is
these neighbors desperately try to keep their home from catching fire. So you're just helpless as you watch these people doing probably, you put yourself in their situation, and it's really dark, and it's really fiery here. There's a lot of explosions, and there's just no help in sight, and you're just wondering when this is all going to end. Riverside County, please stop. Man. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Praise the Lord. I mean,
Oh, the poor thing.
really douse this
That's
fire
the
here.
reporter saying that. Praise
An
the
amazing
Lord.
television moment, and certainly an amazing moment of humanity. Let me bring in Al Roker now. Al, what are the conditions that help fuel these fires? Is there any sense and sign of relief?
There is some relief coming, Lester. We saw those air flights resume because the winds have died down. The biggest problem is since October 1st, they've gotten less than 10% of their average rainfall. The good news is this high pressure, low pressure combo that has been squeezing these Santa Ana winds out. That's been the problem. Well, now they're starting to move to the east.
Thank God.
And separate, so the winds are starting to die down. That's good news. In fact, you can see those winds overnight coming down, the gusts into single digits in some spots. Now, the next thing we're worried about, that storm system in the southwest, that's going to cause 52 million people to be in the winter storm warnings, advisories, watches. Snowfall amounts, Dallas 2 to 5, 3 to 6 in Tupelo, plus icing conditions stretching from Texas all the way into the southeast. Big
Poor
travel
North
problems over the
Carolina.
next 24 hours.
Okay, Al, thank you for that update. In 60 seconds, the latest on President